Humanity was engineered, not evolved. And if humanity fails to fight off the greed of Olympus Corp, all of Earth could be enslaved or wiped out. Dr. Raymond Ward, humanity's last hope, races through the void, his starship hurtling faster than light towards the energy signature detected in the Kepler 452 system, 1,400 light-years from Earth. Raymond knows he must solve the mystery of the ancient energy readings from before humans even existed on Earth. But what he finds there changes everything. Hidden in the lonely outer reaches of the system, an ancient Betazoid outpost, and within it, records showing that the human race had been intelligently designed. The Betazoids had engineered early humans to survive and thrive on the harsh and challenging Earth. Their painstaking genetic manipulations imbued humanity with the traits needed to dominate the planet: intelligence, strength, adaptability, and an indomitable spirit. Abilities and potential locked in the human genome, waiting to be awakened. And the Betazoids used Earth itself as a crucible, its gravity, diseases, and climates all serving to forge the ultimate galactic survivor. But now a new threat looms, one that could undo all the Betazoids' work. The ruthless Olympus Corporation seeks the outpost, aiming to seize the alien genetic secrets and engineer an army of super soldier slaves. And they would use this army to dominate the solar system and beyond, enslaving worlds and wiping out any who resist. Only Raymond stands between them and their goals. The astrophysicist knows he is hopelessly outmatched, but he also knows that with the survival instincts and potential engineered into his genes by the Betazoids, he has a chance to save humanity's future, if he can escape with the knowledge of their true origins. The revelations shake him to his core, but he knows what he must do. No matter the cost, Raymond vows that Olympus will not win. He will ensure humanity's destiny remains their own. Raymond's heart pounded as he huddled in the cramped cargo hold of the supply ship, the stolen data drive clutched tightly in his hand. The ship shuddered as it made the jump to lightspeed, hurtling away from the ancient Betazoid outpost and the ruthless forces of Olympus Corporation. He knew they would be hot on his heels, stop at nothing to retrieve the genetic secrets he carried. Activating his portable holodisplay, Raymond pored over the alien records, his eyes widening as he delved deeper into the incredible truth of humanity's origins. The geneticists of the long-vanished Betazoid civilization had left a trail of clues scattered across the stars, breadcrumbs leading to a world called Zenith, a name spoken of only in whispers and ancient myths. If the descendants of those who played God with the human genome still lived, Raymond knew he had to find them. As he lost himself in the esoteric data, a sound from the adjoining cargo bay jolted him to full alertness, the hiss of an airlock, the clank of mag boots on metal grating. Someone else was aboard. Raymond reached for the pulsar at his hip, thumbing off the safety as he crept towards the hatch. The door slid open and Raymond found himself face to face with a lithe, silver-haired woman, clad in a form-fitting pressure suit of unfamiliar design. Her eyes, a vivid violet, seemed to pierce right through him. "Dr. Raymond Ward, I presume?" she said, her voice carrying a melodic, almost ethereal quality. "I am Arya Xanthi, and like you, I seek the truth about our past." Raymond kept his pulsar trained on her, his eyes narrowing. "How do you know who I am? Are you with Olympus?" Arya laughed, a sound like chiming crystals. "Hardly. I am a descendant of those who made you, Doctor. The Betazoids. I have watched and waited for generations, hoping one of you would uncover the secret of your origin. And now, here you are." Raymond slowly lowered his weapon, realization dawning. If she spoke the truth, Arya could be the key to unlocking the full potential of the human genome, the secret to defeating Olympus and securing humanity's future. "Why reveal yourself now?" Raymond asked, his grip tightening on the data drive. "What do you want from me?" Arya stepped closer, her gaze intense. "I want what you want, Doctor. To find Zenith, to understand the true purpose behind your creation, and to ensure that humanity's fate remains your own." She extended a hand, palm up, an unspoken invitation. Raymond hesitated only a moment before clasping it with his own. He could feel the strength in her grip, the conviction. Together, they would unravel the enigma of humanity's engineered origins. And together, they would stop Olympus from perverting that legacy into a tool of conquest and enslavement. But even as hope kindled in Raymond's heart, he knew that the road ahead would be fraught with peril. Olympus would not relinquish their prize so easily, and somewhere out there, amidst the cold stars, a genetically enhanced killer named Zane Valhalla hunted for them both, determined to bury the truth forever. The ancient Betazoid starship hummed to life, its crystalline controls glowing with an otherworldly light as Raymond, Arya, and the newly awakened Novak fled the research facility on Zenith. Behind them, the staccato bursts of weapons fire echoed through the cavernous halls as Zane and his mercenaries closed in. "We can't let them get their hands on the genetic awakening technology," Novak said, his voice raspy from millennia of disuse. The last living Betazoid's hands danced across the ship's controls, activating long-dormant systems. Raymond gripped the edge of a nearby console as the ship lurched, artificial gravity struggling to compensate. "What exactly is this awakening you're talking about?" Novak's silver eyes met Raymond's. "Your species was engineered with incredible potential. We gave you the ability to adapt, to evolve rapidly when faced with adversity. But that potential lies dormant, waiting to be unlocked." A violent tremor shook the ship. Arya's voice rang out from the rear compartment. "They've breached the outer hull!" Raymond's mind raced. How do we activate this potential? "Specific environmental stressors," Novak explained, his fingers flying over the controls. "We left a network of terraforming installations across the galaxy, each designed to create the conditions necessary for human evolution." The ship rocketed out of the hangar, leaving Zenith's atmosphere in a trail of blue fire. But as they broke free of the planet's gravity well, alarms blared throughout the vessel. Arya rushed into the control room, her face pale. "Zane, he stole a critical component of the genetic awakening process. We can't complete the activation without it." Raymond's stomach dropped. He brought up the ship's long-range scanners, revealing a small craft in hot pursuit. "We've got company." Novak's expression hardened. "We must reach the terraforming installations before Olympus. If they gain control of human evolution—" He didn't need to finish the thought. Raymond understood the stakes all too well. As they hurtled through space, Novak shared more of humanity's hidden history. He spoke of Lyra and the faction of Betazoid scientists who rebelled against the genetic engineering project, believing humanity should evolve naturally. Their sabotage and the subsequent collapse of Betazoid civilization had left the terraforming network hidden and dormant. Raymond pored over the Betazoid archives, his mind struggling to process the magnitude of what he was learning. The key to unlocking humanity's potential lay in those installations, in exposing individuals to specific challenges that would trigger their dormant genes. A proximity alert jolted him from his studies. Zane's ship was closing fast. "We can't outrun them forever," Arya said, her violet eyes scanning tactical readouts. Raymond nodded, a plan forming. "Then we don't run. We find the nearest installation and make our stand there." As Novak plotted a course to the closest terraforming facility, Raymond felt a strange tingling sensation throughout his body. His senses sharpened, his mind raced with newfound clarity. He caught his reflection in a darkened display panel and gasped. His eyes now shimmered with an iridescent quality, much like Arya's. Novak noticed the change and smiled. "It's beginning, Raymond. The challenges you've faced, the stressors you've endured, they're awakening abilities you never knew you had." Raymond flexed his hand, feeling power coursing through him. He turned his gaze to the stars streaking past the view screen, a fierce persistence settling over him. Whatever abilities were manifesting, he'd need them all to stop Olympus and save humanity from subjugation. The ship's computer chimed, signaling their approach to the hidden installation. As they prepared to land, long-range sensors detected multiple vessels converging on their position. Olympus had found them. Raymond took a deep breath, his newly enhanced senses taking in every detail of his surroundings. The real test was about to begin. The rogue planetoid loomed before them, a dark mass against the star-strewn void. Raymond leaned closer to the view screen, his enhanced vision picking out details invisible to normal human eyes. Beneath the cratered surface, he sensed a faint energy signature, the terraforming installation. "We're not alone," Arya said, her fingers dancing over the sensor controls. "I'm detecting multiple ships in orbit." Novak's silver eyes narrowed. "Olympus?" Raymond shook his head. "The energy signatures don't match." He tapped into the ship's communication array, probing the orbiting vessels. A burst of static, then a voice crackled through. "Unidentified ship, state your purpose or be fired upon." Raymond exchanged glances with Arya before responding. "We seek the installation. We're here to stop Olympus." A tense moment of silence followed. Then, "Dock at these coordinates. Any hostile action will be met with lethal force." As their ship touched down in a cavernous hangar carved from the planetoid's rock, Raymond's newly heightened senses prickled with alertness. A group of armed individuals approached, led by a tall man with close-cropped silver hair and eyes that crackled with nearly unleashed energy. "I'm Zephyr," the man said, his gaze sweeping over Raymond and his companions. "Former Olympus super soldier. Now I lead those who would see the corporation fall." He gestured to the installation around them. "Welcome to our little revolution." Inside the heart of the facility, Raymond marveled at the alien technology. Crystalline structures pulsed with ethereal light, creating a shimmering atmosphere that seemed to vibrate with potential. Zephyr explained how they'd been using the installation to awaken latent abilities in willing recruits. Telepathy, telekinesis, powers straight out of science fiction, but real and growing stronger every day. Raymond felt a surge of hope. "We need to unite all humans against Olympus. With these abilities, we might stand a chance." Alarms blared suddenly, cutting through the air. Zephyr's face hardened. "Olympus! They've found us!" The next hours passed in a blur of frantic activity. Raymond worked alongside Zephyr's people, exposing more volunteers to the installation's unique conditions. He watched in awe as ordinary humans emerged with extraordinary abilities, their eyes shimmering with newfound power. But time was running out. Olympus ships breached the planetoid's defenses, and soon the sounds of battle echoed through the cavernous chambers. Raymond found himself at the heart of the conflict, his own latent abilities surging to the surface. Objects flew at his mental command. He sensed the thoughts of those around him, friend and foe alike. And through it all, Novak's voice guided him, a steady presence in the chaos of his awakening mind. Amidst the fray, Raymond spotted a familiar face, Zane, leading a team of Olympus super soldiers. Their enhanced strength and speed made them formidable opponents, even against the newly awakened psionics. Raymond reached out with his mind, coordinating the defenders' efforts, but Olympus pressed forward relentlessly. A scream pierced the psychic link. Raymond turned to see Arya crumple, struck by a blast meant for him. He rushed to her side, cradling her broken body. "Raymond," she whispered, her voice fading, "I never told you. I'm the last of Lyra's line, the one who tried to stop all this." Her eyes, once so vibrant, began to dim. "Don't let our sacrifice be in vain." As Arya's life slipped away, Raymond felt something snap inside him. Grief and rage intertwined, amplifying his psionic abilities to unprecedented levels. He reached out, linking minds with every awakened human in the facility. United in purpose and power, they struck back against the Olympus forces. Telekinetic assault sent super soldiers flying. Telepathic attacks left them reeling in confusion. In the midst of the battle, Raymond locked eyes with Zane. The Olympus operative clutched a small device, the genetic key to human terraforming. With a cruel smile, Zane activated his suit's teleportation module and vanished. The remaining Olympus forces soon crumbled under the onslaught of unleashed psionic fury. As the dust settled, Raymond surveyed the aftermath. They had won this battle, but at a terrible cost. Zephyr approached, his expression grim but determined. "What now?" Raymond's gaze turned to the stars beyond the shattered dome. "We find the other installations. We destroy them before Olympus can use them." His fist clenched. "And we hunt down Zane. As long as he has that genetic key, none of us are truly free." The weight of responsibility settled on Raymond's shoulders. The path ahead was fraught with danger, but he knew humanity's future depended on their success. With his newfound abilities and allies at his side, he would see this through to the end. The aftermath of the battle left the installation in ruins. Raymond stood among the debris, his heart pounding from the loss of Arya and the newfound weight of leadership thrust upon him. Zephyr approached, his face etched with determination. "We need to move quickly," Zephyr said, his voice low. "Our scouts have intercepted Olympus communications. Zane's up to something big." Raymond nodded, pushing aside his grief. "What do we know?" Zephyr's eyes crackled with energy as he spoke. "He's reverse-engineered the genetic key. Our sources say he's planning to use it with some kind of betazoid terraforming device." A chill ran down Raymond's spine. He turned to Novak, who stood nearby, his silver eyes clouded with concern. "A Genesis device," Novak whispered. "If Zane has truly found one." Raymond didn't need to hear more. He could sense the gravity of the situation through the psionic link he shared with his allies. "We need to find him. Now!" Days blurred together as Raymond and his team scoured the galaxy for signs of Zane's whereabouts. Their ship's sensors, enhanced by their combined psionic abilities, probed the depths of space. It was Zephyr who finally picked up the trail. "I've got something," he called out, his hands flying over the controls. "A massive energy signature, unlike anything I've ever seen." The view screen flickered to life, revealing a distant star system. At its heart, a dead star pulsed with an eerie, unnatural light. "That's it," Raymond said, his enhanced senses tingling with foreboding. "That's where we'll find Zane." As they approached, the true scale of Zane's operation became clear. A massive ship hung in the shadow of the dead star, surrounded by a fleet of Olympus vessels. "He's already started the activation sequence," Novak said, his voice tight with urgency. "We don't have much time." Raymond's team launched their assault, their ship weaving through a hail of weapons fire. Psionic shields deflected the worst of the barrage as they closed in on Zane's command vessel. The moment they breached the hull, chaos erupted. Olympus forces swarmed the corridors, their enhanced physiques a match for the psionic defenders. Raymond pushed forward, his mind reaching out to coordinate their efforts. In the heart of the ship, they found Zane. The mercenary leader stood before a pulsing orb of energy, the Genesis device. His eyes gleamed with triumph as he turned to face them. "You're too late," Zane sneered. "In moments, humanity will evolve beyond your wildest dreams, and Olympus will be there to guide them." Zephyr lunged forward, his body crackling with psionic energy. "Not if I can help it!" The two collided in a blinding flash of power. Raymond felt the shockwave ripple through his mind as Zephyr unleashed everything he had. For a moment, it seemed to work. Zane staggered back, his defenses crumbling. But then, with a cruel smile, he pressed a button on his wrist. Energy surged through the room, catching Zephyr in its path. Raymond watched in horror as his ally crumpled to the ground, life fading from his eyes. The Genesis device hummed ominously, its activation sequence nearing completion. Raymond knew what had to be done, even as dread filled his heart. Novak's voice echoed in his mind. "There's only one way to stop it now." Raymond turned to the ancient Betazoid, understanding passing between them without words. This was the moment everything had led to. As Novak's consciousness merged with his own, Raymond felt an overwhelming rush of knowledge and power. Millennia of Betazoid history and science flooded his synapses. The pain was excruciating, but he pushed through it, focusing on the task at hand. With a thought, he reached out to the Genesis device. He could see its inner workings now, the intricate dance of particles and energy that threatened to reshape humanity forever. Raymond exerted his will, feeling the strain as he tore into the device's very structure. Alarms blared throughout the ship as systems began to fail. Zane shouted in fury, but his words were lost in the maelstrom of psionic energy. In a final, cataclysmic release, the Genesis device imploded. The shockwave threw Raymond back, his palms sweating from the effort and the sudden absence of Novak's guiding presence. As the dust settled, Raymond found himself changed. His thoughts were a jumble of human emotion and cold betazoid logic. He looked at his hands, seeing them as both his own and as the tools that had shaped humanity eons ago. Zane lay unconscious nearby, the threat he posed neutralized for now. But Raymond knew the real challenge was just beginning. The knowledge he now possessed was both a gift and a terrible burden. He stood, his fractured psyche grappling with the weight of responsibility that now rested solely on his shoulders. The fate of human evolution was in his hands. As he made his way to the Betazoid ship that would carry him into an uncertain future, Raymond's mind raced with possibilities and dangers. The ethical dilemma loomed large: to guide humanity's genetic destiny or to let nature take its course. The ship's engines hummed to life, carrying with it the last living link to humanity's true origins. As stars streaked past the view screen, Raymond set course for the unknown, the echoes of Novak's final thoughts still reverberating through his transformed consciousness.
You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.